has been an awakening. Have you felt it?
Welcome back to the channel. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. This is the Fan Awakens, and right here I'm about to do another round of Netflix recommendations. I hope you guys have all been staying safe as usual. And so yesterday I recommended Molly's Game and I recommended I Am Mother, two of my favorite movies on Netflix right now. And today I got two more for you guys. So if you guys have watched these movies again, let me know in the comments here. Let me know on Instagram. We got our handle right there, the Fan Awakens, at the bottom. And yeah, so pretty much I'm just going to get into this. I watched a couple new movies yesterday, and one of them was The Artist. And this is a really great pick. PG-13, about an hour and a half, so not a long commitment. And I think that this movie is something that would be nice if you're looking for something different. So basically, this is like a love letter to the early 1900s, like silent films, before they really had dialogue. It was a lot of acting and mouthing words, and then they would have, an image with like a couple words on it, and it'd lead you through the story. So this is sort of like if you've seen A Star is Born, I'd say it's similar in a way. This is a movie where you have a very, very, very popular actor who is pretty much on top of the silver screen. His career couldn't be higher, and he happens to fall for this dancer who really doesn't have a name for herself, Peppy Miller. And as the film goes on, they sort of have this switching of roles where they fall for each other. He's married, but his career begins to decline, hers begins to take off. And so you have this love story. I think it's one of the most beautifully shot films I've seen in a long time. It won a ton of Oscars. It won Best Picture, Best Actor in a Leading Role, Best Costume Design, Best Director, I believe. And there might have been, Best Score. And the score is fantastic. Something that I've been listening to nonstop since I watched it. And I can't believe that I hadn't really seen this movie before. It's 2011 came out. And yeah, I just think that if you're looking for like a movie to inspire you, a movie to sort of put you in a time machine and take you back, it sort of it transports you. It really does. And so I think that this is definitely a film that I highly recommend. Like I said, a quick watch, something that you can just sort of sit back with, by yourself, with loved ones, whatever you like, and you can all watch this. And it feels like it was made in the 30s or something. Takes place in the 1920s, I believe, 1930s. I could be wrong, but definitely recommend The Artist. And if you're looking for something a bit more on the edgy side, definitely a lot darker, pretty grim, rated R, Freaks came out last year. I saw it in September, and it's a great movie theater experience. We showed up to the theater not knowing what we were going to watch, and we just sort of looked at the bill, and we saw Freaks, and there's something else that we were interested in. And we didn't know, we hadn't seen the trailers, we hadn't heard anything. I just saw that it was rated very highly, and we needed something to watch, so we ended up going with Freaks, and I was very happy we did. This is one of my favorite films of the last year. I think I had it at 12th, although it might have been in my top 10, I can't quite remember. But nonetheless, it's great. It's a thriller, very psychological. It's hard to go into the plot, but I will say that this movie is definitely something that threw me for a loop personally, and something I have an issue with is like I really do hate when you can predict the ending of a film or even like the big twists and turns, and that's definitely not the case with this thing. It really had me on the edge of my seat, and I'm not just saying that. Like constantly, I was trying to unravel the mystery of the film, trying to understand what was going on, and even when things are made clear, there's just so much to it. It's really, it's fantastic, and it's a dual director project, and the things they worked on before was like the recent Kim Possible Disney Channel film, which a lot of people gave a lot of flack to, and I think that this is credit to what certain people can do when they sort of get more free reign on something. Obviously, this is an indie kind of project, very limited release. It made like under 400,000 worldwide in its theatrical run. When you compare to like something like Avengers that made over 2 billion. That's not very many eyes that got to see it. And so seeing it come up on Netflix is great. I definitely recommend Freaks. And so those are my 2 recommendations for today. I think that very, very different films, obviously. One is like, well, first off, obviously the artist got a lot of attention from the Academy, and I would have loved Freaks to do that. But, it kind of flew under the radar, came out at a bad time, all that kind of stuff. But both movies that I think definitely deserve eyes. And Freaks, especially because it didn't get that prestige viewership or anything. But I think Jack Rayner's in it. I believe I gotta look at the cast, but great performances all the way around. And Freaks, for being such a small film, has really impressive effects. The writing's incredible. And you sort of pick up, to give you a little bit of the story, you sort of pick up with this girl living in a house, and ironically, it's very timely because she's quarantined. She's been quarantined as long as she knows. She's never been outside really. And so she's sort of stuck with this feeling of cabin fever. She wants to know what it's like to go outside, the simple things like what does ice cream taste like from the ice cream truck and things of that nature. And I think that it's definitely, timely. Everybody's staying at home. Everybody's staying inside. And, I guess if you watch this movie, you can think things could be worse, perhaps. But I think it's either way, it's a great time. Not super scary, but definitely on the, I don't know. It can be a bit much graphically, but not the whole movie. Most of it's really dialogue based. So I definitely recommend these 2. But if you see either of these movies that I recommended today, or you go back to our video from yesterday and watch either of those films, let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know on social media. Like I said right there, The Fan Awakens, or you can hit me up directly, EP_2187. I want to thank you guys for listening. And I'll be back tomorrow with some more recommendations. So let me know what you think. Thank you guys for stopping by. And we will see you next time on The Fan Awakens.